Hello everybody, welcome to Take 5 with ActiveYards. I'm your host, Scott Shivers, and my guest today is Scott Gamble, the Scott and Scott Show.
Yeah.
Scott is our Director of Marketing, and today's topic is going to be about advertising. What is ActiveYards brand advertising? And Scott's here to help us with that. So Scott, what is brand advertising?
Well, you know what? That's a great question. And it sounds, daunting, brand advertising, but it's really not. So brand advertising is all about advertising with your brand, okay? So, we're surrounded with it every day as consumers. Everything you see is brand advertising. So think about your favorite brands, Coca-Cola, Starbucks, Wawa, wherever you live. And everything you see, everything you buy, everything you look at, all the advertising you're bombarded with every day is brand advertising.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. So how can a dealer advertise their brand and ActiveYards brand?
Well, that's a great question, Scott. And the important thing for dealers to understand and to keep in mind is it's easy to advertise the dealer brand, whatever your brand is, with the ActiveYards brand. And the two brands go together. They have to work together. So, we ask people to do what's called co-advertising, right? Co-branded advertising, where you'll put an advertisement out there and it'll have part of a dealer brand on it, but it'll also have ActiveYards on it. So those two brands are side by side working together, amplifying the brand. And then furthermore, when you're doing that type of advertising, it's also important to talk about the products that you're advertising as well. So again, whatever the dealer name is, whatever the the ActiveYards brand is, and then the product, whether it's dogwood or granite or what have you, make sure that you're going all the way down to the product level for your advertising, so the consumer knows what you're talking about.
So what are the benefits of this approach?
Well, the benefits are super important, and everybody thinks about commodities and what commodities are with regard to consumers. And what you want to do is, as a dealer, avoid selling commodities. So you don't want to sell just white fence or black fence, generic fence. So that's where the brands come in, right? You're selling the ActiveYards fencing, whether it's aluminum, vinyl, both. Mm-hmm. You're selling the products within those areas, right? Within those categories, dogwood, aspen, chestnut, silver bell, granite, so again, that's where you get out of that commodity rut and you're selling a brand, you're talking about products, you're rising above the noise of commodity, which is very generic, and you give that consumer something to latch onto, and that's the ActiveYards name and the names of the products.
Thank you. Are there any tools for dealers to use for brand advertising?
Absolutely. So in one of our prior segments, we actually talked about Binder, which is our digital asset management system, or DAM. So as you can see in the background here, I've got Binder open. Binder has a lot of assets that you can use, or your marketing team can use, or your marketing agency can use for ActiveYards brand advertising. So the things that you see in the background right here are some digital advertisements that are housed on Binder. So as you can see, as I scroll through this, there's ads, talking about black and white fence or aluminum and vinyl fence. You have specific advertisements talking about aluminum fence, and then you get into dogwood and vinyl fence, etc. So again, there's lots of assets here. You can back up here and just give me a second. You can look at billboards. So we've got lots of ready-to-use billboards here, that have great brand advertising. We've got print ads as well. Let me just pull those up very quickly. And as I said, we've got areas in here. You can see these areas, they're hard to see, but there's areas in here where the dealer can insert their brand right alongside the ActiveYards brand and the product names. So great assets Every dealer should be using them in all the advertising they do. You should never, ever go out there and advertise just generic vinyl or generic aluminum fencing. That is just something that you should avoid at all cost.
Well, thank you, Scott. We thank you for taking the time to
Yeah,
explain
absolutely.
ActiveYards brand advertising. Thank you, viewers, for watching. Take 5 with ActiveYards. Today's episode of Take 5 with ActiveYards is brought to you by Barrette Outdoor Living Decking. For more information on decking, visit our website at barretteoutdoorliving.com.